Hello everybody, I'm the thenthapple, and today we're going to take a look at this place right here. The Our Lady of Hope Hospital, located in the remains of Washington DC, next to the Statesman Hotel, and actually connected to it by a little bridge that we'll see later. Around the back of it here, we can see a lot of things. Most disturbingly, several baby carriages, several cars, a lot of wreckage, and oddly enough, in the back of this truck, a lot of corpses, and this person right here seemingly died right on the spot from we don't know what. Then by the doors over here, we see someone who seems to have died while being injured trying to force their way into the hospital, which comes into play later about why I think people outside died when the bombs dropped and the people inside died after. So, inside, we can see the waiting area, or the smaller waiting area. People have literally died and collapsed off their seats based on the placement of the chairs and the corpses. A bit further up, we can actually see one of these children of the corn, like, baby bombs up close, and they freak me the fuck out, to be honest. And to the left here, you can actually find a Mr. Handy, just sitting here in this closet after all these years, weirdly enough, and the super mutants in here never did shit about it. Now, you can find a lot of centaurs and super mutants in here, so please be prepared for that when you show up. So just to the left here, we can actually find a room where it really shows people died when they were being treated or died mid-treatment. This person died in their bed, and the person behind me died when they seemed to have fallen off this seat while listening to the radio and having a good old drag and a cigarette. And this chap right here, this fellow here, seems to have died right on the, well, recovery table. So here we can see the physiology ward, and you can see so many more patients here. We can see a lot of people died right here, and it seems to be that they might have been doctors discussing a case, or people milling about for loved ones. And right here, this guy is reaching. Okay, this guy is reaching for this person who's slumped over dead here. Like, they know what's happening, they know they're going to die. But a bomb couldn't have did this. Okay, this wasn't radiation, this wasn't a blast, because the inside is mostly intact. So something else killed the people inside, but it may have been triggered by the bomb. Or at least that's my going theory right now. So we can actually find several nurses' stations that give some very funny anecdotes on what may have transpired in the everyday life of this hospital. So, the first one here is injury report, too big a number. Extreme muscular injury to the groin. Mr. Malone was admitted to the staff Statesman Hotel across the street with extremely painful pull in his groin region of his body. He was in the company of this whore here, and he didn't want to say what happened. They give him medicine and physical therapy. He is most likely an elderly chap and has been injured after a bit too much fucking. At least that's when I googled the muscles that seem to correlate around the thigh area. So unless she did something else to him, I don't know. This guy right here got a sharp pain in his knees and left arms from a fall, once again outside the Statesman Hotel. The tanker requested 8 pillows. He said he was injured, they couldn't find injuries to treat, he slept the night, he took 8 pillows to bed with him. And the tanker took the pillows and he ran off. What a dick. He stole pillows. Don't know why. And the last one right here is actually from Hubris Comics, oddly enough. Okay, he got splashed with caustic chemicals, and from the printing machines and presses that we seen in there, they were quite dodgy. Okay, some of them were actually leaking and exploding before we'd even got in there, so he actually had to be admitted due to severe burns. There's 3 of these terminals in this building, and you can get med supplies and the same 3 interesting stories throughout. They're funny, but they don't really tell us what happened here. So, down here we can actually enter into what we can assume to be the maintenance part of the hospital, and we can find this gentleman right here, also by a mine that blows up. Now he's keeled over beside a table with a crutch and also a mug, which tells me this is maybe a chap trying to get away from all the nurses, maybe to come have a smoke or whatever, but there's no ashtray. But he was definitely here for a reason of relaxing, and he was definitely a patient. Over here in the other part of the subterranean part of the hospital leads to the dry sewer, where a war between Talon Company mercs and super mutants is waged, but it doesn't have any bearing on the hospital as a whole. It's just interesting. So, we can actually find this room here further along. It has 2 individuals in it, okay? They're both dead. Oddly enough, on the table there's caps, which weren't a currency until well after the bombs dropped. The individual on the bed seems to have a broken leg based on the medical brace, the crutch, and the odd angle that his leg seems to be bent on. Oh, Jesus. Okay, he's not quite dead yet, but the odd angle his leg's bent on. But why they have caps, I have no idea. The main waiting area is a fucking mess. Okay, gore bags everywhere, there's super mutants, there's a turret up at the top of the ceiling. Okay, a Mark 7. Yeah, in a fucking hospital, it's a bit retarded. And that little hole you can see there, if you go up there, you'll find a skeleton falling off with somebody else grabbing him. Even though there's no actual, you know, entrance to the room. The Mark 7 turret can be hacked from in here, but I find it very strange that they would let the thing that could kill everyone be controlled from one computer in a hospital. Okay, and once again, all these people were in use, or going to use this hospital before, when all this happened, so how they're all dead, I don't know, but I've got a pretty good theory, and I think the bombs were involved, but it wasn't the blast or the radiation that caused it. What is we're gonna find out very soon. So right here is where the super mutant blew his own legs up. The fucking idiot. It was actually pretty fucking hilarious, I won't lie to you. On his own mind. And then we can actually take a little gander into the second level of the hospital. Now, as you can see, there are some collapsed passageways, some collapsed doorways, and some distortion here at the end. You're probably thinking, what is this? Well, what it fucking is a gas leak. Okay, and it will ignite if you use the wrong type of ammunition here. These are actually very prevalent throughout the entire hospital, and this is what my whole theory stems on. Gas was the cause of death here, not the nuclear bombs dropping, even though they may have had a hand in it. The cafeteria here is completely cleaned out. Okay, I don't know why it would have been cleaned out. Maybe people were trying to get away. People were trying to leave in a hurry. But over here, my whole theory comes together. A gas leak. Broken pipes. The bombs went off, and the shockwave caused damage, structural damage. But the thing that killed everyone was the gas leak. The people didn't know, because obviously they were stressed the fuck out, they were panicking. And they died because of the gas. Now, further on out here, we can actually get to the part that will actually link to the Statesman Hotel. Now, it's not actually that interesting, but I do find it very, very odd that this particular girder fell right here to form a connection between the two. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting. Once again, this is what caused it. The gas leaked out after the shockwave from the bombs hit. The people outside died because they were outside, like that person clawing, most likely from dying from radiation. Okay, the one at the doors. They died because they were outside and the shockwave or the radiation killed them. The people inside were protected. A hospital like this in the time of war would have been hardened against radiation, but it wasn't hardened, or at least the structural parts of it weren't hardened against the shockwave, so close. Based on the debris, you can see that from the debris around you, but the hospital still stands. The gas was triggered, it leaked throughout the hospital, and that's why people seem to die on their feet. People were dying while sitting in a chair and they keeled over. People were dying while sitting on an operating table and then reaching out for their loved one, or possibly their doctor, just to the left of them. The gas is what killed everyone in here. The people outside, however, were dead for another reason. Now, why those corpses were piled up in the back, we don't know. Someone else could have actually did it at a later date, or they could have been researching a pathogen or some such during the time of war. But my theory is that the gas fucked them all over, unfortunately. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. Like, favorite, and subscribe if you did. If you have any suggestions for future episodes, I very greatly much appreciate them. I love talking with you guys in the comments section, but if you have a shitty opinion, keep it to your fucking self, or else me and everyone else in the comment section will tear you a new one. And as always, I hope I will see you in my next episode. And goodbye. This is the end of the episode. You reached it. Here, have a metaphysical high five. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave some feedback in the comments section below. If you have any suggestions for future content, I would love to hear them. Or just to hear you talking to me in general, because it's pretty good crack. If you want to talk to me on a more regular and or personal and or quicker level, follow me on Twitter at thenthapple. If you want to get regular updates to my content, subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, why not give it a like? And if you want to let other people see it and help me grow, I always appreciate shares, because sharing is caring. And as always, I hope I will see you in my next episode. And goodbye.